control microphone. Links. I don't know how to invite people. What's up, guys? I am out in the new studio right now, so I might have a little bit of echo, and then I should have my microphone. Yeah. Can you guys hear me? Too low? I don't have to be quiet now because now I don't have sleeping children above my head. My lovely wife, if you have questions for her before we start the book chat. I forgot my book. My book's in the house.
I'll go get it.
I'll go get it. You answer questions. You answer questions.
No, I'll go get it.
Okay. My wife's gonna go get my book for the book chat that I left at the house. I think it should be right on the couch. Right. Okay. But while she goes to get those, I was gonna do a quick Q&A. How's this group chat work? Maybe I have to switch to the YouTube page. Just getting used to this. Oh, look at that, guys. Clark. Oh, shit. Nope. Okay. Pee Wee Herman. No, this is my new studio. I've been putting updates on Instagram. Andrew Clark. Blake. How are you? Looking forward. Hey, Carlos, Escobar style. Pulsing in and out. Is the audio that bad, guys? I'm sorry. It's okay. Glitchy and slow. I'm on my phone's hotspot because I didn't run internet out to the house yet. My only question related to penis size for a live chat. Seems like you guys can hear me. And what is up? I think we're live now. There seems to be a little bit of a delay on Verizon, but I have to run a physical cable out to get nice fast internet. So we'll see here. Dermabrasion. I'm always a little hesitant of like current trends, like the charcoal thing that happened a while ago, some of that stuff. Those guys reached out to me and I've had them recommended before, so I would do Thread Beast. It is a little bit more street than I'm used to. All right, any questions for my wife before she goes back to take care of our children? Got the book right here. We're going to talk about Appearance of Power, or the best that I have to. How to style. Would that be like celebrities? I would do celebrities or something. Like he doesn't really have. He has a little bit of a style. It's delayed by like 20 seconds or something. Retail Apocalypse. It's still going. It is intense. No one has questions for my wife. We'll start the book chat. Too long to get ready for a night out?
No.
No, she says no. All the closet space.
Yes. I literally have no closet
right now. And that's part of the reason. Oh, you're not in frame. I do take up a lot of the closet space.
No, he doesn't take up a lot of the closet. He takes up the whole closet. I have nothing in the closet.
So I'm building part of the first floor of this studio is going to be a new closet space. And actually, I'm buying the closet system. Oh.
Why is this Small.
System that He Spoke Style uses, I'm going to Baltimore to get that from him so that I can put my clothes outside. Yeah, closet space. How do you handle my style with all of the items that ship to them?
Yeah, I don't understand that question.
Like, how, I get too many boxes?
Say the mailman, or no, not even the mailman, the UPS mailman noticed when we got a new door.
So I get a lot of stuff. I do recycle a lot of stuff.
Does your wife follow any flash? No, I follow a lot of beauty vloggers, but no fashion bloggers.
The handrails are coming. This is still a construction. We're still under construction. You should see the first floor. Tommy Jones, I will be at Menfluential, 7 p.m. on Thursday. Brock and I are doing a meetup. Red booth, the red booth, something or other, and I'm going to send an email out to let everybody know.
Clark's not getting visual.
Oh yeah, if you can't see us, Andrew, we're live. We're somehow I don't. This is still a work in progress.
Yes, we do coordinate outfits. None to happen. We used to do it more, but we don't do it so much anymore because
the blue checked untucked shirt that I had. We have one for my son, and we have a dress version for my daughter, and so that's one way we all coordinate. And then
we coordinate a lot. Like coordinate with if I'm wearing a dress, the color of my dress with his outfit.
Yeah, I always try to match in some way to have the colors. Manis and pedis. I have gotten a pedicure before with her, but it's not a regular thing.
I don't really like them that much. They actually freak me out.
Feet.
What is that for my? Wait, what is the S? For example, my girlfriend is always saying Jesus, more items, or stop wearing clothes now. Oh, I don't care. I mean, he keeps them in his own space. So.
Wait.
Will your wife start a Cavalier channel for women?
I keep telling her to do that.
Yeah, but I don't think that I'm that. I have a very
the camera.
Yeah, but I feel like I'm not stylish enough.
Like more mom stuff. Like
I'm more into like cooking and baking.
Yeah.
That would be my channel, cooking and baking.
Yeah.
I like it more.
She doesn't like the landscaping.
I like
Oh, my wife encourages the 5 o'clock shadow, and she is a big fan and really encourages the mustache. But
5 o'clock shadow.
Well, just the scruff.
Oh yeah.
She really wants the mustache back. You guys weren't crazy about it, but
somebody said, "Have the kids changed how much you get to dress up?" Dresses up, but my style has definitely changed into more functionality than.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking about the book. Don't worry. This is just our 5 minute. It's only been live for 6 minutes. It's 5 o'clock. Okay. Yeah, I did get an overwhelmingly positive response on Instagram to my 5 o'clock shadow.
Well, you had one on our honeymoon. I think I don't like man buns. I'm not into what's like when it's shorter down here.
Oh yeah.
I don't like but like if they have like a little bit of hair on top and then the man bun, I don't like that. Like if you have long hair, your hair is in a bun, then great. But
I think let's leave the man buns in 2017.
That was like 2015.
That's
man
true.
buns or 2014.
15 to 16 was the peak.
No, I would say 13, 14 was peak man bun.
Oh, I'm behind, I guess.
Questions?
Talking book. I can let my wife go back to watching her.
All right.
Watching. The Grammys are on. Thanks to you guys for being on here. Grammys.
Wait. Does him being so tall present challenges as a wife? Dick. I think it would present more opportunities than challenges. 5 o'clock shadow. I don't know. All right. Well, have fun, everybody. Enjoy the book.
I know people who do grow it that fast for a 5 o'clock shadow. I do not. Other people do. The Appearance of Power, guys. Yes, I know you guys joined to talk The Appearance of Power. I'm curious how many others have read it so far and how many have the physical book, because I know it was through ebook. This is Tanner Guzzi, fellow YouTuber, masculine style. I've followed him for a few years now. Actually, the first video that I came across from him was Casey Neistat's. He did a video on Casey Neistat's style, and it was pretty cool. Oh, baking related? Yeah, I get that. So my first confession of the very first month of the book club is that I actually was not able to read the entire thing. It's a very short book. It is 105 pages. And I never use time as an excuse for things, but I did not make it a priority to sit down and read this. I'm not an avid reader. I listen to a lot of stuff. I didn't get this on audiobook. I don't know that it's available on audiobook. But I do have notes for parts of the book, and I can also talk more broadly about Tanner because I've been following him, and a lot of the stuff that's in here is on his channel. Now, if you want to be part of the live stream, there's some way that I can invite you guys to be on it, right? And so I can do that. The cameraman, let's see. I don't know if I'm going to be able to figure this out. Ooh, I don't want to share my screen. I want to try and invite some of you guys on here because I think that'd be pretty cool. And it's just it's a cool group. This is, I know. If there were grades involved, I probably would have finished the book in time. How do I let you guys join my live stream? Guys, I'm trying to okay, here's what you got to do. If you want to join the live stream, send an email to info at thecavalier.net Gmail address, and then I think I can send you an invite and you can join. But check the email in a couple minutes and then we'll go from there. But what I really like about this book, so at the highest level, this is talking about masculinity and the way that you dress and portray yourself to the world, and why, one of the things that I notice a lot on Twitter is Tanner will take suits a lot. He'll say the suit is not the end all be all. You're going to be overdressed if you wear a suit to a grocery store, because to a lot of guys, the first thing they think of when they think of dressing nicer or dressing better is wearing a suit. And that's not always the case. And talking The Appearance of Power really gets into how Western culture is, there's these polar opposites of thought on style. If you think too much about it, you're a pansy girl. And if you don't think enough about it, then you're a slob. And he really dives into those in the book. Anything in the chat? Yeah, if you want to join the chat, info at thecavalier.net in there. The way the book is written is extremely quick and punchy, which I like. It's written with these very short paragraphs, not even paragraphs. It's 2 to 4 sentences, and it's a very quick and easy read, and it doesn't waste a lot of time. One of my biggest complaints with a lot of modern business books that I read is that, I think of the book Grit by Angela Duckworth. A case, she then tells an entire chapter, which is a story related to the case, but it seems like there's a lot of filler in those books. And so I like that this book is much shorter and also just kind of gets to the point. Now, some of the first stuff that he talks about introducing the book, he has a killer introduction when he tells the story about his uncle who was coming to a funeral, and Tanner helped him get a suit that is the perfect way to really express his uncle's style and it just express himself. So I thought this was a really nice summation of the book. This book is not for the guy who's simply looking for an outfit that will help him get laid, nor is it for the man who wants to know the one perfect thing he can wear to nail his job interview. So it's not about fashion, it's about style itself. And so while what it does contain is accurate advice or particular items, to have in your closet tutorials or breakdowns of why boots are $50 to $5,000. Of your appearance is to use aesthetics as one of many means to accomplish your desired ends. And a lot of the stuff that Tanner talks about in this book is what I try to get through in the channel. Is I don't think I should buy everything that I review. What I'm trying to get to is be able to present all of the stuff that's out there so that you can then make an intelligent decision on what is best for you. And that's, I run into that sometimes when I think about the videos that I do. Is I don't think everybody should get Watch Gang, and maybe the videos that I should do in addition to the monthly unboxings is a video of like, who is Watch Gang for? Because I think that is the question that people have coming to watch my videos, but then I just talk about the watch. And that's part of what I really like about this book is the higher level message that I don't cover on my channel, but I try to speak to through the videos that I do, which is that find the best thing that's for you, whether it is a perfect flannel shirt, but have some care into the way that it fits and the way that it looks and the way that it feels. Or if you are going to buy a suit, make sure that it's not too formal or too informal based on the environment that you're going into. Do you like it so far? Yeah, so I'll just go through a couple of my notes that I really liked about the book. Right in the beginning, this is page 5. Dressing well contains an element of both congruence and aspiration. It tells the world, particularly the people who matter most in your world, who you are and where you're headed. It projects honesty and ambition. And I think it's right in this first chapter too that he talks about not judging a book by its cover. And I think that is, he gets into this a little bit, but everybody judges the book by its cover. One of the things that I really liked about a certain sales book that I read was that there's this croc brain in everybody's, because just thousands of years of evolution to bring us to the point where we are the most dominant species. Everybody evaluates everything around them, their entire environment, the people sitting around you. He talks about this in the book, when he's sitting on an airplane, he's evaluating all the people around him for threats. Does he need to be aware of them? Does he need to defend himself in some way? And so using that framework, people are going to judge you based on what you look like. But you also need to then take the next step to say, even though I'm judging this person because they have holes in their shirt and they look like they're not put together, you need to be able to then take the next step to that and break that down and understand that that's not going to be the person and who they are. And so I think, that's a message of acceptance, but it's also a message just, not for yourself, but then to also make sure you keep yourself put together, because I'm definitely guilty of saying, if somebody doesn't go to a grocery store, I'm always like, oh, why couldn't you just put some pants on, man, or some shoes, cover your toes. Something that I covered a little bit in the gym office video that I did. Guys, this is very impromptu, but that's what. A visibly drastic change at the beginning of your metamorphosis. You will be able to fulfill 2 different purposes: communicating your growth easily and directly for those who already know you, and 2, reminding yourself that you are on a mission to be different than the man you once were. And I think that's something that, the average age for people that watch my channel tend to be in this younger group. And that's one of the hardest things, I think, when you're coming out of high school or when you're in college, is trying to go from not caring about what you wear because, or if you just wore like, a certain type of clothing, but you want to shift into the more adult version of yourself, it can be a really tough transition to go through. It's something I talked about in the Office video where I broke down gym style. In the beginning of the Office, he wears these like baggy shirts, colors don't really matter, but then by the end, he looks dynamite. He has great fitting suits, great shoes and everything, and you can make that transition, but you have to be intentional about it. No, I'm adjusting because I don't have a chair in here. Mindset. I got some notes. I'm going to check my email. Does somebody, I will note page numbers. Yeah, I'm only on page like 8 right now. It's all very, very early, but I will note. Yeah. Here we go. I like this one. This is page 14. Having a uniform. So Mark Zuckerberg every day wears a hoodie and a t-shirt, and Steve Jobs wore the turtlenecks. And certain people say that there's there's some comfort in having a ward or a uniform where every day you don't have to think about it and you just get up and you get dressed and it takes away mental space. But I think for me, I really like of trying to pair colors, trying to, think of the chinos and the shirt and everything. I kind of like that approach to it. I don't think it takes up that much mind space just to put a certain shirt on if you're wearing a certain pair of pants and shoes. I have my CEO wears every single day. He wears a white button-down dress shirt, and he wears a black blazer, and then he wears like jeans. It's like every single day he wears the same thing, and that's his like uniform. And I think that works for some people, but I like to have a little bit more variation. Now, if I was known for wearing suits every day and just different colors, I don't really know. Actually, everything in that room. I think it's a camera proportion thing, KH. Page 16. Find yourself wanting a more positive relationship with your appearance, but are worried doing so will mean you'll be having plastic surgery, laser hair removal, and regular manicures in 5 years. You're falling into the same mental trap as men new to weightlifting. I loved this story because I've heard this before. People say, I don't want to work out because I don't want to get too buff. And he equates that to people that say, I don't want to start caring about what I think because then all of a sudden I'll be wearing suits everywhere. And that's a total misnomer because I love that story because if you're worried about working out because you're going to be too buff, man, you've got some real misconceptions about what it takes to become fit and buff in this human bones that we have here. Here we go. I like this. This is the beginning of chapter 4. I got to like chapter 6. I was like, I'm about halfway through too. But I want to own up to the fact that I started a book club and I didn't finish the book. Andrew Clark. Yeah. Found it hard transitioning from sloppy style to intentional style, then choosing to work in construction. I definitely feel you, Andrew. And that's part of what I think about too is like trying to construct a life where I would feel comfortable in a lot of ways. So, I travel a lot for work, and I also then go to like executive, like first class lounges, and I work with CEOs and I work with very high level people, which then intentional about certain style. And I think about if I were to switch careers or switch jobs or something, I would want to still be in the space where I could wear clothes that I was excited about and I could be comfortable in what I wear. Because honestly, if I had to wear in a t-shirt to work, I wouldn't be as comfortable as wearing a button down and a sweater. There's just something to it. There's something about being a little bit dressed up. And, when I think about coming out here to work in the studio on weekends or anything else, in days that I work at home, this is going to be my home office pretty soon. I still put on shoes and I still need to, it's a mental thing. And I really like that. Billy, balance and proportion can be achieved without excessive muscles. That is very true. And yes, I do have a lot of suits. I'm waiting. Articles of style. I wanted to have my articles of style suit by the time I went to Menfluential, but it's not going to get here on time. Oh, man. Okay. Chapter 4, as I started before. Oh, KH. Some frat guys are dressed sloppy, but still have girls all over them, partly because they wear expensive clothing. Yeah, I don't know. Frat guys, environment once you get out of college, they all fall off for the most part, or they become like mediocre bankers, right? I don't know. Chapter 4. So Tanner talks about Jack Donovan. Yeah. And Jack has been talked about before having Brett McKay. So, Brett McKay and Jack Donovan are really pushing this like masculinity and just like overall being a good man. And I think that's one of the sentences in here is you can somebody that is a good man, but you can also think of a good person that's not a good man. I can't remember. I don't think I highlighted the quote in here. That is important. And it makes me want to dive more into Jack Donovan. So Jack Donovan, he wrote this Way of the Man, and he breaks things down into how to be, here it is right here. You have courage, strength, mastery, and honoring. And courage, as a trait, as being part of a man. Strength, I think, is important, both physical and mental. And, I've not read Jack Donovan's book, but now I do want to get into it based on this. Mastery, this is something I struggle with a lot, is I do feel like I inch deep on a lot of things. That's good and bad. You got to have people that are specialists that have mastery of a certain field, but then you also have to have people that can cross those boundaries. I see myself as a person that can cross boundaries, specifically professionally. I can do, IT and technical stuff, but then also customer facing and, social aspects of things. An engineer, like a computer scientist or an engineer, is very technically focused. That it's a stereotype that they don't always have social skills. I know several that are that way. They don't want to be in front of a customer. I thrive, and I feel that I thrive in front of talking to people, which is why I have a YouTube channel. And so there is that aspect to it. So that's page 36 I'm looking in here. Oh, and then honor. Honor is a big one as well. And I want to get to that page right over. I can't find it. I have one more note in here, and then I'm going to go jump on my email so I can try and let some of you guys into the chat, because I want to hear from you more than just the chat window. So let's see here. I'm going to type in the email address. Just email. Let's see. All right, very slow typing. If you guys shoot me an email there, I want to guys have you put on here. Honor page 48. Mike Accord, what's up, guys? I recognize so many of you guys, so many of your names from Instagram and from the comments and everything else, and you guys are the best. To chat with me over the Grammys. I love that. Honor. If status, page 48. If status within a particular group is tied to courage, strength, or mastery, its worth comes from honor. And honor is one thing every masculine society, whether it's inner city gangs, motorcycle clubs, ancient warrior societies, or a prison cell block, a masculine culture is one of honor, and one in which man's standing with his peers is extremely important. And, I experienced this a lot with my dad when he passed away in 2015. He was strong. His profession, but what everybody always talks about is that he was an honorable guy. He was very trustworthy. He was a man of the community, and I think that goes a very long way, just as far as known and having that legacy planet. I think a lot about that as I think I was just thinking about this today. Is as a parent, you're shaped as a parent depending on how you were affected. So, if you were adopted, or if you lost your parent very young, if you still have your parents when you have kids, or like me, my son was being born. My son was born 3 months after my dad died. And so like a lot of the ways that I think about parenting are through the scope of passing young, or maybe having to try and leave something for my son. It all kind of shapes into that. And so I think a lot about what the legacy is that I would leave. And honor is a huge part of that. So if you have honor, you leave a good legacy. If not, oh yeah, I can sing to you guys. Kendrick just won a bunch of awards, and so I could definitely break into. Well, I don't see any emails to jump into the live chat. I'm just curious how this works. So this is my first chat, and this is the January book. Like I said, I didn't finish it entirely. If you do want to get into a lot of Tanner stuff, his videos are very helpful. I know it's a little bit controversial. Some people aren't crazy about his views on whether it's religion or I didn't really want to get into that, but I thought this would be a nice, cool book to really jump into, because part of what I want to do with the book chats overall is get into some of the business stuff. So I have a lot of excitement and interest around the Wednesday videos I do when I talk about the retail apocalypse, or I talk about a video where I talked about their business model. So that to me is really the exciting stuff that I really like getting into, and what I would like to continue to get into with the book club. So taking suggestions for the February book, because I want to give everybody the month to then read whatever book we choose for the book club. I'll send another email out so you guys can kind of vote on that or something. That is, this is pretty brief. I don't know how long these things should be. I started doing live chats 2 years ago, and it's all kind of changed a little bit. Maybe in the future, I will a little bit more. Cage. Masculinity, political science. Luke Bower's idea that a surplus of men leads simply to violence. Yeah, I think I absolutely agree with that. I was just talking to my wife about that this week. Is you have to have the balance between, if it's all men, yeah, they'd kill each other. Balance it out, and you have women to fight for, and you have women to respect and keep us in line. If I didn't have my wife to keep me in line, I don't know. I don't know that I'd. And that a little bit. That's probably good. Yeah, I think so. I just watched TGV did. It was like an hour and 40 minutes about the perfect 3-piece collection. I watched the entire thing in a replay. I didn't watch it live. It takes a lot of dedication. I think his audience definitely enjoys some of the longer ones. But yeah, thanks for jumping in on the live stream, guys. If you have any suggestions for what book I should do in February, there's a book called Disney War, and it gives you a little bit of the history of the Walt Disney Company. Was founded by Walt Disney. But what it really covers in incredible depth is the transition between power from in the 80s when Michael Eisner took over to the kind of infighting and just trajectory of the 90s when Jeffrey Katzenberg, who then started DreamWorks. It's this like incredible time in Disney when they were just firing on all cylinders. They were not. When the book starts, the company was kind of in the middle and flat, but then they put all these things in place. They had this renaissance in the 90s. You had movies, you had The Lion King, you had The Little Mermaid, you just had all these movies come out right in the 90s, and they established themselves as a real key player. And they had this renaissance, and then it falls off a little bit. But I think with the news this week or the news this month of Disney buying Fox for like $55 billion, something like that, I think it'd be really interesting to dive into the mechanics of how Disney got to where it is today, because the book really leaves off right as Bob Iger is like starting to take power. But I think it was just a really good book. And I think it'd be cool to look at that in the context of Disney now succeeding. And I want to go in there. Yeah, this is the studio, almost done. And I was just talking about that I read half of Tanner's book for my monthly book club. I'm owning up to it. So Disney War is what I'm going to probably do in February, but I'll put out a poll so you guys can vote on that, because I want to hear what you guys want to read. And this isn't a dictatorship necessarily. I don't know what the mix, it's a list dictatorship. I'm not great with politics, but yeah, if you want to do a quick, I've been putting the studio on Instagram, but right now I don't have internet yet. I've just been using my hotspot. But you can see I don't have my railings on the stairs yet. It's still kind of under construction. And as I mentioned in the beginning, I am picking up Brian Sakawa's. I have to go to Baltimore for work, and he put it up on Instagram that he wants to get rid of it because he's moving, and I'm gonna go pick it up. So it's pretty sweet. Andrew, yeah, I hope I'm legit. American Kingpin. Oh, that would be the other one. I think that's what I have in here, right? Oh, okay. First, Shoe Dog. Excellent book. I love the story about Nike. My only qualms with the book is that it ends right like when the Jordan era starts. So it's Phil Knight who talks about founding the company. He was basically bankrupt for 15 years. He was never making any money. How he went from selling shoes to then making his own shoes. That was a great book. And I'd love to cover that one again. to Pixar and beyond. I love that was from the former CFO of Pixar when he had joined the company right as they were like in turmoil when Steve Jobs bought them, and then saw them through their IPO and their growth in the years after. American Kingpin was one of my favorite books of last year. It is the story of the Silk Road, and it is this incredible telling, not just from the Dread Pirate Roberts. Nick Bilton actually got the chat logs of like every single chat that ever happened about the Silk Road from, I'm blanking on his name, but the Dread Pirate Roberts, the founder of the Silk Road. They had his entire chat log and history between him and all of the company people. And then the writer also got to speak to the FBI, and it follows these two parallel stories. And then at the end, they come together. And, you know, I'm not spoiling anything because this you can literally read about it. It's history at this point. It's not just a great book, but it's told in an excellent way. So that's American Kingpin, and then Disney War. I'm really excited about that one. So a vote on the book of the month in February. Today we're at the 28th, so I'll do that in the next 2 days here, February, and then I'll try and line up people for the live stream next time because I'd love to have some of you guys jump in. That's why I did the Google Hangout, because I'm able to do like either the quick, easy Hangouts, or I have software that I can then run stream through. So I'm just figuring it out, you know. I think I started doing these 2 years ago, but it's going to improve. So any more questions? I'm going to sign off. I'm going to go to bed. I've got a week-long this week. I know it's rough. I got to go to a resort for 5 days in the mountains of Western Pennsylvania. So body of my upload list, but I'm taking a lot of video with me because I have stuff I need to get done. New videos that are coming up. I'm doing Origin Ties, which is a new tie company that has an interesting fitting shirt, and they have an interesting business model similar to Everlane. I'm going to do a video on smart luggage because there's a lot of questions around airlines and smart luggage right now. I have a bespoke post. I have a Suit Supply video coming up that I shot where I compare their made-to-measure, off-the-rack, and their made-to-order shirts. That one has been in the queue for a little bit. I got a lot of good stuff, and I am excited to get even more stuff done. Rest up, Andrew. You rest up as well. Thanks for jumping in, everybody. And since the Grammys are on, any requests that I can sign off here? I gotta know the song. I know a lot of songs, but positive feedback on the scruff. I'm gonna leave the scruff a little bit longer. I have to go to a meeting with a CEO in February 6th, so I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna get a video done by Wednesday. I have a lot of ideas, but I don't know that I'm gonna get one shot in time because I have this. I gotta go to this thing for work. So I'm glad that you're excited about it because those have been some of my favorite videos. And the scruff, Andy. So what do we got here? Kenny, thanks for coming. Sergio, thank you for coming. Thomas Belay, Billy, you guys are the best. Carlos, I saw Marco in here. 2-day scruff? Yeah, right. Kendall, I'm sorry. I wish this is 2 weeks, about 2 weeks. I don't grow very fast. The longest I've ever let it grow is about 3 weeks, and it just doesn't really grow out. But I like to have a clean shaving face. Watch Trek, boring. All the time. 007. Oh, I should do a video on this. I meant to do a video on this too. Like, I think it's been 6 months or so since I got this. And, all right, guys, I'm going to sign off. No requests. I don't want to sing out of, oh, shit. Oh, that's in here. All right, guys, thanks for joining. We'll talk at the end of February. So I'm going to keep these going. So I have consistent live chats, and then I'm working on some other live chats with some other YouTubers, but it's tough to nail some of these people down. Thanks, Plus James. Thanks, Kenny. I'll see you guys on the flip side. And I should have videos up this week. Don't worry. And then also, of course, Instagram. I put all on behind the scenes stuff, all the food I'm eating, and all of the other stuff on there. So you want to check out Instagram if you're not already on there. Good night. Stay stylish, stay tailored, stay classy. Kendall. Thanks, everybody.